What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you're on a fantastic day today. And today we have massive unboxing number 44 for you all. I really hope each and every one of you are excited for today's video, as today we have some really cool models to take a look at, some very unique ones, and really unique with the custom aspect here. You can see some weird boxes here, but those aren't the actual models. We'll get into those one by one, but again, I hope you all are excited for this. We'll start with some more traditional models with these two GeminiJets, and we'll just go from there. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started, everybody. Alrighty, everybody, welcome to massive unboxing number 44. We got some really cool models in here, but first and foremost, like I said, we're going to focus on some normal models that we have here. So let's get started right here with the GeminiJets 1-400 scale Alaska Airlines Boeing 737-700. So I've been thinking about getting this one for years at this point, but I just decided finally to do it here, and it worked out in the trade. So very excited to have this. This will be a cool model, and hopefully we'll get to use it at Albuquerque, Reno, and others. GeminiJets made for collectors by collectors. We know the drill with the box, so not too much else to elaborate on besides that it is the 737-700, the most uncommon 737 in Alaska's fleet here. 2019 release for this model, and this is the one with the that the Colorado mold also had. So it has the old mold with antennas on it. So here's the model inside. You can also pause to read the pamphlet if you'd like to see that information. So let's just go ahead and get it out, and I'll show you what I'm talking about with these aerials and the old mold. This will only be my second model that has such a setup. So let's just go ahead and take a look at it. And here it is. Looks pretty good with the details. This is honestly pretty solid. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Alrighty, everybody, and here we go for the GeminiJets, a 1-400 scale Alaska Airlines Boeing 737-700 in the normal livery. Looks really good. We'll talk about some various characteristics of this mold since we haven't talked about it in a while. So let's just go ahead and dive into it, guys. Alrighty, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So here's the cockpit windows and nose cone, which is a little chunky, but it's not too bad, so we won't complain with that too much on the 700 particularly. Here's nose landing gear, nose landing gear door. It's kind of weird because it's kind of like a hybrid. So the landing gear door actually on this particular model is just a little too big, but it just depends. Again, this is the old mold, but it has some aspects of the new one, including this nose landing gear door. So I don't know if this is like a transitional period or what, but certainly pretty interesting here for Gemini. Here's the L1 door, no One World logo yet. Then you got the Alaska Airlines billboard titles, which take up like the whole front half, so that's pretty interesting right here. Got a little bit of first class before your main cabin, or rather this is going to be economy plus on Alaska. Then you get into the economy section. A very basic livery here, but you do have the antennas on the old mold, so it's just so interesting to look at the components of this mold. 1, 2, 3 on the antennas, but then you have the old engines, which are correctly sized, so that's super nice. Then you have the overwing exit with the flap slots and speed brakes, which arguably look better than the current one, so that's certainly interesting. The landing gear, which are tilted back and also look really good how it was on the old mold, so pretty interesting there too. The winglets, which are correctly sized opposed to the new mold as well, so that's pretty interesting. And then the rest of the aircraft for the most part continues with the old mold. You get the registration November 614 Alpha Sierra, the US flag, then you get the L2 door, and then Chester looking fantastic. Old tail, old horizontal stabilized, just mainly the landing gear door, the nose chunk along with the antennas. So it's certainly most of it's the old mold, and then the other part that was really goofy was the cockpit windows. They did a egregiously sad job on these. They're pretty rough, but what can you do about it? So there's a couple views of that. Right side also looks really good. Again, you get the baggage door in the front and then in the back. And let's take a look at the top and bottom, which as you can see is pretty simple, plus the antenna for the old mold. And the bottom also looks really good. You got an egregiously small GeminiJets logo, the stand hole, and the other components of this aircraft. So really good model. I think this is a really cool hybrid in the mold. And again, I've always wanted this, so it worked out well, and I haven't found a chance to get the NG, so why not the Gemini? So this will be a great addition to the collection right here. Alrighty, everybody, our next model is going to be yet another one of these, and it just worked out in trade once again. So that's why we have an American Eagle Embraer ERJ-175 by GeminiJets. This is the most recent release, 2021. So here it is. We know the box GeminiJets made for collectors by collectors, and I'll kind of do a little bit of a speed run here since we've seen this several times. I just thought that I would get it out since it's here. So I won't even show you the pamphlet. You can refer to my previous videos if you haven't got a chance to see it. And the horizontal stabilizers are out, but those are going to be easy fixes. So let me just go ahead and get those back in, and we'll take a look at this model here. Alrighty, guys, and here we go for the American Eagle Embraer ERJ-175. So overall looking pretty good. It's going to need some work, but we'll do our best to fix it up. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Alrighty, guys, here we go. So we got the cockpit windows along with the nose cone. Got the Envoy titles right here along with the L1 door. Then nose landing gear, which is a little goofy compared to the first release, but hey, it does get the job done, so we won't complain about that too much. Got the One World logo, and then you get the American Eagle titles. Got a little paint chip right there, but what can you do on the E for Eagle? There's the engine right there along with the main landing gear. The wing looks really good along with the flap slots and speed brakes, along with the enhanced winglet. This one has a little bit less flex than the others, but again, first release certainly my preference between that and the color. Color is okay, but not as good as the first. You got the U.S. flag with the registration November 233 November, which is the aircraft that had the chipped enhanced winglet, so I might as well chip this one off at this point. Horizontal stabilizers do need to be glued in, so you can see why that's struggling so bad. And unfortunately, the tail did chip, so I forgot about that in the trade. That's all right. Well, I'll fix the horizontal stabilizers later, as you can see right there. APU, the rest of the detail, it all looks real good. Right side also looks really good. Again, weird landing gear, but ultimately the rest of it looks good. Unfortunate chip, but what can you do about it right there? And we'll take a look at the top and bottom here. Top of the aircraft looks pretty good. No horizontal stabilizers right now, but we'll get that fixed. Bottom of the aircraft, same slung, second burst, some good panels, and all the detail looks really good. So very glad to have this. This is a really cool model, but now, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get into one more normal aircraft before we'll take a look at our custom aircraft. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So this aircraft, I was trying to decide whether I wanted to keep for a long time or not, because I do have quite a few of these, and I have the newest version of this, so I wasn't sure whether as I wanted to keep this model, but I did decide to keep it, and that is going to be the Southwest Airlines 737-700 in the New Mexico 1 livery. So this is a really nice model with the desert tail, and again, I just couldn't decide whether I wanted to keep it or not, but I ended up getting a pretty good deal on it, and it is a good looker, and it will be nice for the Retro Tulsa project, among others. So I thought that it was justified at the end of the day, and this is a good looking aircraft. So let's not waste any further time and take a look at this aircraft, and no box, you can tell, just a tinted plastic cradle. Alrighty guys, here we go. So we got the cockpit windows, and this is very similar to the Alaska mold. We got the nose landing gear door along with the nose gear and then New Mexico 1 titles, L1 door, and the New Mexico flag. So of course we got all this really nice orange and yellow type color before we go into the really cool circle with the line design. So that certainly looks very nice. All economy on Southwest, so that's what you're going to find on the inside. And then of course you got the CF-56s, which look really good. Emergency exit with no pad though, so that's quite unfortunate, but this model was like 2001, so I can understand why. We got limited flap slat and speed brake detail, but you can still see it, so that's what matters. Again, one-piece mold. Then you have the main landing gear, which aren't really tilted as much on this aircraft. There's a little bit, but not quite as much. Also, we're just get one Cirrus class moving by, and then the light will be back. So thank you for your patience in advance. And then you have the rest of the fuselage, which is real simple throughout here, but you do have the registration November 781 Whiskey November. Not sure why it's in white on this aircraft, as you can barely see it. Maybe it was intentional, I don't know. Southwest Airlines tail right here with the desert. So you got the desert color, then the red, and the orange. APU horizontal stabilizers, the rest of the detail looks really good. Here's the engines, they also look real nice. Right side, you got the baggage door number 1, baggage door number 2, the rest of the detail, it all looks really, really nice. Let's take a look at the top of the aircraft right here. You can see we got a little beacon, some adequate detail, no winglets. It's actually my first 700 in the fleet with no winglets for Southwest, so that's another cool reason to add it, although I would like a canyon at some point, or even a desert would be fine. Bottom here, you can see just a stand hole, the lines coming across, the CFMs look real good, one-piece model looks really awesome. Really cool model right here, very glad to have this one. It will be a really good asset as now we get into the custom models, so let's just go ahead and take a look at that, guys. Alrighty guys, let's go for this round of customs. So these come from TPA Geek, so huge thank you to him for making these. He did a very, very good job on these, and I was super impressed. I don't know whether he's doing customs at the moment right now, but you can hit him up if you're interested. So yeah, really awesome, and again, I appreciate him doing these very much. We worked on a long time for these, so I'm very glad to finally get them in the fleet here, and they're going to be absolutely awesome. Peek all the collection set up over there. It looks really great with all those Americans. Anyways, hopefully that video came out by the time this video is coming out, but disregard that. Let's just move on to the models. So no, this is not a Canadian Airlines Boeing 767-300. This actually was one of those, but it turned into a really cool model that I'm very excited to have. I won't have a huge use for it, but it will still make appearances in the fictional airport updates and hopefully a couple of the real life ones, because it is a little more obscure, but it is a cool one. I think it'll work really well. So excited for this. So let's go ahead and take a look. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be a 1-400 custom of an Omni Air International Boeing 767-300 ER. So very excited to have this. This also does need paint on the engine, so don't worry about that. I'm still working on that, but I mean, just take a look at that. Honestly, really, really great effort. You can see the decal line just a little bit, which is not a problem by any means, just an observation as to what you get here. But this is really nice, and TPA did a really good job on this. So just take a look at the various details on that. And the right side of the aircraft also looks really, really good. So let's go ahead, get this down here, and take a look at this. Alrighty, everybody, let's take a look at this custom 1-400 scale Omni Air International Boeing 767-300 ER. Really awesome model. Again, it needs red on the engine, so I'll eventually do that when I get a chance. But nevertheless, this is a really good looking aircraft, and it'll be quite a powerful asset here for the collection. So I'm not going to waste any further time. Really glad that my first Omni aircraft. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So as you can see right here, we have the cockpit windows along with the nose cone. Dragon Wings did a very good job on this mold, so S tier effort from them at that time. Here's the L1 door along with the nose landing gear, which looks very good. So you can see a little decal outline here, which isn't a huge deal, just an observation if you're curious what these customs look like. Ultimately, they look really good, and especially if you're not looking at the line, like it looks super flush here and here. You can't even notice it on the camera, so that's really cool. So really great job here by him. He did a really good job. Love the sparkle, the Omni Air International colors on the titles. He did a really good job making that pop, so great job to him. Along with the windows, very straight and very well aligned, so that's a really good effort. I think this says 767-300, although I'm not sure. At the leading edge light right there with the engine, again, that needs to be painted red, but I'll work on that here in the near future. Got the emergency exit pad, which is perfectly lined up with the windows, so that's awesome. Take a look at the font on Omni Air International too. That's really nice, so very good job by him right there. Then you get the wings with the flap slide and speed brake detail. That's very nice. Then you get the rest of the windows here, again, really flush. You can barely tell that it was added on, especially in, you know, various angles, so very good job by him for getting that represented very well. So you had the rest of the windows. Their configurations are really different on their aircraft. I'm not sure exactly which one November 378 Alpha X-Ray has, but it certainly looks very good nevertheless. You also have the OAI tail, which looks really great. Let me get that to focus right there. That is really nice. Beautiful color on it, and it looks exactly how it's supposed to, so very good job. Got the horizontal stabilizers, APU, the rest of the detail. I'll clean up a little bit. There's a couple of places that need just a touch up, but certainly looks very good with regards to the dust on it and all that, but that's very fixable. As you can see right here, the right side also looks really robust. You got the nose landing gear, and then you have the cargo door, which you can barely tell was even added on there, so well done by TPA Aviation on that. Same song, second verse on the back one right there. You can literally barely tell that that was added on, so that looks really good, and he did a very good job. In fact, I actually think that may have stayed on there from the previous model. It looks kind of like that, so that looks really good. And again, it's really tough with these decals, so a couple of places you're going to see a little bit of swerve, but again, that's a very neglectable issue, and I certainly really appreciate TPA's efforts on this. He did a very good job. Top of the aircraft looks very good. Bottom also looks really good. You get the Dragon Wings stand hole. All that looks really good. Great job by TPA. This is a really great way to start out here, and I think he did a very good job on this custom right here. Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and get into some big Shapeways customs. So I've done some of these in the past, but I've always wanted one like this, and I've talked about it several times. So TPA just finally knocked it out for me, so thank you, man, very much. Very excited to have this one. Let me make sure I'm very delicate with this bubble wrap so that I don't damage this winglet right here. There we go. But as you can see right here, we have a very cool custom, and that's going to be the Mesa Airlines ERJ-900 in the gray house livery. This is really nice. I'm very glad to finally be able to correctly and adequately represent this. So this looks really good, and he did a very good job on this aircraft. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Mesa ERJ-900. Alrighty everybody, and here we go for the custom 1:400 scale Mesa Airlines ERJ-900 in the gray house livery. Very excited to finally have one of these. This will be really cool to represent at the various airports. I think this will be a really good asset, and ultimately it looks really good so far. So let's not waste any further time and go ahead and take a look at it, guys. Alrighty guys, here we go. So we got the cockpit windows right here that look very good. Then we got the nose cone along with the nose landing gear door. Glad to see the color on that. That looks really good. Then you got the L1 door right there. That looks very good. And then here's the decal, so you can see where he applied it across. So it looks like he did some sort of base coat on this. So it came out pretty good. I think he did a good job on it. And then the actual decal itself was matched really well with it. So glad to see that. The two baggage doors also look really good right there. And then you can see where it stumbles just a little bit. But again, it's really tough to get the texture. I'm assuming it looks like spray paint, although I'm not completely sure, so I think it just waved on him a little bit, which is okay. These are really tough to spray paint, so can't blame him too much. He did a good job on it. Got two emergency wing exit doors right there, and the pad, which he did a very good job on that, so very good effort on him. You can also see where he exactly did the panels on there really well, so you can see it there on top of the fuselage along with the wing. So very good job by him for getting that adequately represented. The registration of the aircraft, to make sure I get it right, is 939 Lima Romeo. That looks really good. You can also see back here where we have the engines, and they look really good. The spray paint certainly went very well back here. The baggage door right there also is adequately placed. Then you can see here the beautiful gloss on the Mesa Airlines tail. That's probably my favorite part. It looks really good. So good job by him. Horizontal stabilizers, all the rest of that looks really good, and he did a very adequate job right there. Right side of the aircraft also looks really good. You can see where a little bit of ink got out, but again, these are really tough to do, and I certainly couldn't have done much better. So a very good job by him on this effort. You got the R1 door. Then, of course, you got two more overwing exits right there. You got the pad right there for it. You can also see the just a little bubble right right there too, but it certainly adds some good character to this aircraft. I think it looks really good. Tail on this side also looks very good with Mesa Airlines. It's a little tough to see the airlines, but it is theirs. So very, very nice right there. And again, that wasn't to be critical of being able to see it. That's just more of like the actual decal piece and how that just came out on this particular offering. Top of the aircraft looks really good. You can see where the hazards are and panels, so he did a really good job on that. Bottom also looks really good. You can see the nudge pieces, but he did a really good job getting that off, along with the main landing gear, which looked really good. So a very good effort by him. So really glad to have this model. This will be really cool to use. I really like the gray on it, and it turned out really, really well. So TPA Geek, thank you so much, man, and a great job on this one as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to take a look at the CommutAir ERJ-145. So this is all Citrus Aviation right here. Or did I just say that out loud? Darn it, my bad. But this one looked really, really good. The other one was very good, but since you didn't have to do a base coat on this one, I thought this one turned out really well. I will add some fine point Sharpie on the landing gear to really make this good, but man, this is really, really nice here on the United Express Embraer ERJ-145 with the slanted winglets. Alrighty guys, and here we have the United Express Embraer ERJ-145 XR in the Evo Blue livery. Really good effort by him on this one. Really, really, really cool. This is probably my favorite so far. It looks absolutely amazing, and a great job by TPA Ape Geek. So we're not going to waste any further time and go ahead and dive into this aircraft. Alrighty guys, here we go. We got the cockpit windows right here along with the nose cone. Then once again, I'll add a little bit of fine point Sharpie to touch up that landing gear. So that looks really good still though. Then you got the line right here. I don't even know how he got it so precise. That's really, really good. So great job by TPA Geek for getting that right on the money right there. You also got the L1 door right here, which looks really good. The United Express titles, which are S tier, that's really, really good work. Very precise and ultimately a really good job. So that's really, really great. The windows also look amazing. So a perfect job on that, and along with the emergency exit, which is really, really good. So that's a really, really nice right there. You got the emergency exit pad, which is great, and also a fabulous job painting the wings gray. That's really, really good. Really great effort. Really glad to see that, along with the line that continues. The registration of this aircraft is November 14143. So he did a good job representing that right there. Just wanted to bring it up to my eyes so I could see a little bit better. You also got the main landing gear, which again I'll touch up with some fine point Sharpie to make this perfect. You got the winglets right there that also look really good. He did a very good job on the blue. Looks really, really accurate. Same song, second verse for those engines. Man, those are really nice. So very good job right there. You can see where the blue leaked just a touch, but again, this is very precise and these are really tough to do. So very good job for only getting one opportunity at it. And you also see where the wings are gray there as well. Looks like you got the gears gray too, which is perfectly fine. The struts will be gray anyway, so that works out perfectly. Again, the engines look really great. Then you got the tail right there, which is probably my favorite part. Again, the tails are a little bit easier to do on these, and he did a very good job with the various blues, the light blue and the dark blue, so that's awesome. And the horizontal stabilizers, yet another really great painting job here, as they look really, really good. So very impressed with that effort. The bottom looks really good. Take a look at the right side of this aircraft. Very similar details of the R1 door, really nicely done, along with the windows again. Then you can see the winglet over here looks really good in the various pieces. Here's the little top-down view, so we have enough room to show that. And the bottom also looks really good too. Very, very nice job. TPA Geek, great job on this one as well. So glad to finally have a Evo 145 XR in the collection. This is awesome, and it'll be a huge asset for many years to come because nobody has the mold right now. So it's literally a one-of-a-kind model. So very glad to have this, and this is really, really awesome. Alrighty guys, and this is definitely a Thai Airlines Boeing 737-400. I don't even want to spoil what this is because I'm really, really, really excited for this one. This will be yet another one-of-a-kind aircraft, and really excited to add this into the collection. So what are we waiting for? Let's just go ahead and see this Thai 737-400. Psych, that is completely wrong. This is a Aero Airways Boeing 737-400. So we're really excited about this. I've always wanted a proper Aero airplane in my collection, and this is certainly going to be just that. He did a very, very good job on this one as well, and this one might be the best of them all. So let's just go ahead and take a look at that effort. Man, that is absolutely gorgeous. Alrighty guys, and here we have the Panda models mold, but the custom 1:400 scale Aero Airways Boeing 737-400. Been chasing after one of these for a very long time, and very glad to finally have this aircraft in the collection. Absolute talent show, and very excited to take a look at this aircraft. So let's not waste any further time and do just that, guys. Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and take a look at this model. So here's the cockpit windows along with the nose cone right here. That looks very good. The pitot tubes up here. He did leave the nose landing gear door alone, which is perfectly fine. It was probably too small to mess with, so not really going to notice that from glance. So that looks really good, along with nose landing gear nose landing gear itself. Here's the windows, which he had to completely redo because the tie stripe on the old livery went all throughout, which made this kind of tough. So very good job by him for reapplying these windows. They look absolutely awesome. So you can see very seamless here on the decal. That's really good work. So very glad to see that, and he did a very good job. Then you got the antennas, which look really good in the Panda mold. So glad to see 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. So that's absolutely awesome. You got the engine right there to CFM. It looks really nice. So that's awesome to see. I also got the Ling right there, which looks very good. He did a very good job. You didn't really have to do too much on that, so it stayed pretty original to what it was. So that's very nice, but he did a good job touching that up if he did any work on that. Then you get the rest of the windows, of course. This is pretty simple throughout, but you do have the registration November 440 Uniform Sierra was selected for this aircraft. And the tail, which is obviously the star of the show, very good job on that. You got the nice A. Really good print right there on that, whether it was done with a printer or another actual type of, whatever kind of paper was what I'm getting at. So that was really good. You got the horizontal stabilizers, the APU, all of that's really nice. Right side also possibly even more seamless. You can see there, you can barely even tell if there's a decal put on that. So that's just really great. So very good job by him. You also got the baggage doors, which I think he actually was able to keep those from the tie because those weren't affected by the livery. So very nice to get to see that. Again, 440, and the tail is really nice in there too. Very seamless, very nicely put on there. So a great job by him, and very pleased with that effort, to say the very least right there. Top of the aircraft looks really good with the antennas and the various details. In the bottom of the aircraft also looks really good. You got no stand hold, but that's perfectly okay. It's just a Panda mold, and again, what can you do about it when they come for you? So very glad to add this aircraft. This is a real talent show, S tier effort, and very glad to add this into the collection. What an awesome model, and this will be a very powerful asset at many airports to come. So certainly very glad to add this into the collection right here. Alrighty, everybody, let's go ahead and take a look at these Schabak models. So I got these at the LAX Airline Collectibles Show, the one-day show on January 20th. I got all these for $5, which is absolutely incredible. So pretty much $1 a piece, but really great deal considering that it comes with the full box, which I don't have a Schabak. I only have one Schabak box, so it's really cool to get a multi-box right here. And then, of course, love the American Airlines branding. So Schabak scale model 1600, MD-11, 767, 757, MD-80 is what we're going to have in here. American Airlines AA. Again, Schabak Models was a company in the 90s that made the some 1600 aircraft. They did a pretty good job. They were made in Germany, and not too bad. There's what the various aircraft, of course, look like. Box a little beat up, but that's okay because you can see where we can bring it out right here. We can get the models out, so we won't do too crazy of a look on these since they're obviously not 1 to 400, but I will take a look at these real quick here for all of you. Starting right here with this Boeing 767-200, looks really good. The printing detail is really good. Cockpit windows. You also got the luxury liner there. You got the gear that are kind of goofy, but that's okay. They still look pretty good. The AA on this aircraft's really good, and again, you got the various copyrights and whatnot down there, so it's very good. So a little bit of detail throughout, but ultimately pretty good. Nice and simple, especially good for that time frame. Right side's a little bit more goofy there on the printing, but that's okay. Still looks pretty good, and they did a good job. So Schabak was known for really bad printing, if you don't know, so that's kind of what I'm getting at with some of these. So again, this is like $5, so couldn't really turn down. Here's this American Airlines 737. Again, kind of just looks a little goofy with the chipped off logo right there, along with the tail. It's just kind of different, but still looks good. Here's the various sides of it. So again, 757-200 is what they're trying to go for here. Right side a little bit chipped up, but again, $5, not complaining. That's really great. So very glad to have this, and it looks really good with some various details throughout as well. The MD-11 might be the best one. Let's take a look at this. It's a little bit bigger, so obviously more real estate to work with is going to make a better model every time. This one looks really good. Very flush printing with all the decals. It looks really good. Wings. The molds are actually really good, and they're actually really good materials, so that's awesome. They do Schabak on this side this time, so that's pretty interesting. It says 943 on it, so maybe it was out of 1,000. This was 943, but pretty interesting. It looks really cool. And getting these out of the set, I'm sure, is really tough at this point, so certainly a very good deal. I already have one, but why would I pass down a second Schabak American Airlines MD-80? This one was infamously bad for the logo printing. You can just see where it's all over, but very good. A little wonky on the windows and the stripe, but again, it's 1600. These are really tough to do, so a very good job for doing their best. You can also see where you have the right side of the American Airlines logo is kind of weird. So it does say scale model. It's not a toy by definition. Really close on the border for me personally, but what can you do? So those are the Schabaks. They look kind of cool, and certainly glad to add those into the collection as well. So those are very nice to say the least right there. And as I get this back into the box, we'll go ahead and take a look at our last model, which is a really cool custom. This was featured in a previous massive unboxing sometime in early 2023, I want to say. Maybe number 29. I'm not exactly sure which massive unboxing it was, but this model was featured, and I've since sent it to TPA AveGeek to do a renovation. So I talked about possibly one doing a custom on my blank JC Wing 747 that I got from AS Aviation last year. Well, that's exactly what we did, as we got it as an Atlas Air Boeing 747 now. So TPA AveGeek was nice enough to do a really cool custom box. So let's go ahead and take a look at the details of this full box. So you see, got Atlas Air there on the top. There's the aircraft, 747 BCF, 400 that is. And you got some really cool logos of the aircraft throughout the box. It on the various sides, but this is probably the best part. It has the 747, half of it on the back. That looks really, really good, and you can barely tell that that's actually paper. So really good effort. That's really cool. And I think this might be an illustration from NG with that little arrow right there. I'm not exactly sure, but it looks really good. And again, it's not JC, but it pretty much is. So that's really cool. So let's see how this came out. This is a really big model. It was blank, so this surely, I'm sure, is going to be really, really nice. And it pretty much just looks like an actual model to me. This is really good. So it looks like we lost the antenna somewhere in here, so that's unfortunate. Through the transit, if you remember in that last video, it was broken, but that's okay, as this still looks really good. Man, that's really nice. Alrighty, everybody, here's the JC Wings Custom 1:400 scale Atlas Air Boeing 747-400 BCF. This is really great effort. Good job, TPA AveGeek. You killed this along with the others. This is really, really nice, and I'm very, very glad to finally have this aircraft in the collection. So without any further delay, let's go ahead, not waste any further time, and get into this model. Alrighty, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So as you can see, we got the cockpit windows right here along with the nose cone. Here's the windows. They're very nice and flush. Obviously a really big surface to work with here, so very glad to see that. Nose landing gear door look really good. Here's the L1 door. Then we pop up here to the top where you can see we have this door along with all these. I did find the antenna in the box, so yay to that. So very glad to have the antenna here and to not lose out on that. Let me zoom this out actually just a little bit. I can't believe how far in it gets zoomed compared to narrow bodies. Here's the Atlas titles. They look really good. So you can see Atlas Air right there. That's really nice. Got the bottom antenna. And then again, some more various panel details. He did a really good job on the decal here. This looks really nice. You can barely notice that's a custom from this angle. So that's really awesome to see. Really great job on the colors. This is really nice. Then you got this door right here, which it looks really good. And you got this one. And then I think you're supposed to have a little cargo door right there. So that looks really nice. In the back, a little bit of paint distortion, but not bad at all. Not his fault, just kind of how it happens. Registration November 429 at Mike Charlie. And I think this was the decal. I think that's what kind of had some interference here. But it's certainly worth having the registration in the windows here on that part of it. So that looks really nice. Again, really good color on the navy. That looks really good. So glad to see that. Boeing 747-400. You got the door right there. That looks really great. Then you got the tail right here, which is just beautiful. I can't believe it turned out so well. Certainly very metallic color. It looks really good. It's just a whole new step from NG in that department. So that's really cool to see. Horizontal stabilized APU. Also, the winglets look awesome. And you see how good of a job he did casting those. I'm really impressed by his effort on that. That turned out really well, so really great job by him, and I'm very impressed with his efforts on that. Right side of the aircraft also looks just as good, if not better. You can see how great the details are over here, the window print, the decal. That's really, really nice, so certainly very glad to see that. Also, great job painting up the engines. Those look very good too. So very glad to see the really good detail on those. And again, registration there too. Tail looks great once again. You do have the cargo doors, as you saw right there too. So ultimately, all that looks fantastic. Top of the aircraft looks really good. We got some great detail, and he did a very good job on that, so very glad to get to see that. Flipping her over to the bottom, you can see exactly how precise it is with the alignment of the blue paint, so that's really great. Landing gear all look good. The antennas, the air inlets, this is really nice, and certainly very glad to see what an effort he made on this aircraft. So very, very good one. It looks so good, especially from a glance. Thank you so much, TPA AveGeek. You did a heck of a job on this. These are all awesome. Let's go ahead, line them all up, and take a look at what we got today, guys. Here we go. Alrighty, guys, take a look at all these models here from Massive Unboxing number 44. We got some very good ones, including this American 175 that needs a little touch up on the glue. Looking very good. Aero Swift 737-400. That's effort. Very nice to have this, and this will be a huge asset for many airports to come. The Mesa CRJ-900 is really nice. Very glad to have a gray one now, so those will complement my white ones very well. And the CommutAir ERJ-145. That's really, really good work. TPA, awesome work on all of these. That's absolutely awesome, man. He did a great job. Alaska 737-700. Finally glad to have this now, and hopefully we'll get to fly one sometime, so that's looking very forward to that. We have this gorgeous Atlas Air Boeing 747-400 freighter. He did a very good job on this. So glad I found that antenna as well. That's a really great model. So glad to have that.
We'll get some red on these Omni Air engines as well in the 767-300. Really beautiful plane. That's so awesome to see. So looking very, very forward to that. That'll be a blast. Along with this New Mexico One Southwest 737-700. Glad I chose to keep this. Really nice, and so glad to have that model in the collection. So really hope that you all enjoyed this. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. It's a really great assortment of aircraft. I'm looking very forward to the following unboxings, and I hope each and every one of you are as well. But nevertheless, that'll do for today's video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. My name is Redrive Aviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe, trust the process. Do what you love and love you do. My name is Redrive Aviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as Redrive Aviation is signing off.